Welcome, everyone. How are you? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of the day it is that you're catching us in this interview. My name is Linda Ibelis, and today I'm being joined by my amazing client, Savannah Joy. She is the Empress of Voice Medicine, and I'm going to ask her, hey, to join us. And welcome, Savannah.
Hello.
Hey, this is so cool of my own evolution. Before I wanted to know like the exact numbers before I started speaking. And now I'm like, I'm just gonna let my clients say it because if you're following me for sales sake, that's gonna be like a cool a cool byproduct of the work, but not really like the only thing. If you're just focused on money, you're actually this is why you go to program and still feel like you're missing something. So, but I do want everyone to know just a couple of weeks ago, you were like, oh, hey, it was 17,000 in like 35 days or 40 days, something like that. And then you just had your biggest sale ever, a $30,000 sale. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Because that is literally huge.
It is.
It is huge. And so for the people that are watching, because people like the money, and I'm so glad that you're open to discussing, right? Because so many women have wounds around sharing what they make as well. I know I did at the beginning because I didn't want my family to know what I was making because what I was selling and what I was collecting was not the same. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
And so thank you so much. Do I have those numbers right? I know the 30K sale. And then the other 17, right? So what's that, like 47? And then like, what does that put you at sales for the year? Sales so far?
You know what? I meant to go and check before we hopped on and I didn't. But yeah, we're probably around sales for the year. We're probably around 60K.
Yes. And so I knew it was over 50 because you had already made some sales when you came to me in February, right? But I remember you saying, I asked you, like, what'd you make last year? And then you really didn't know. And I was like, what'd you make last year? Like, I need us to be so focused on these numbers. And then you were like, oh my God, it would just be like so cool, man, if I could have like my first 6-figure year. And I was
like, we set a goal for 30K for the quarter from like April to July 1st. And so I surpassed that.
My God. And I'm like, 100K is a done deal. It's July and we have 60. Like, what are you going to do? Stop working for the rest of the year? You're not. Right?
I got so much coming down the pipeline. It's insane.
It's insane. And so I wanted to chat with you about all of that because I know that I tell my clients, you get paid to evolve. You get paid to evolve. And I wouldn't say that if I wasn't experiencing it. And so I've taken this year with the clients of the power table, like I launched Sales Dominatrix, and then I did Alter, and then I'm doing movement. And it's like, now I'm doing Woman of Power and like, what? All sorts of price points. And my biggest thing is going from consultant and coach to movement leader. How? Because I didn't tell you that when you signed up for the power table in February, you didn't know what you were like. We're going along this ride with Linda. How do you feel now versus if I would, I mean, it's so hard to say what would you have thought in February because we're biased, right? We have an experience now, but like, imagine if I would have said to you, hey, this year I'm trying a whole bunch of new shit and you're coming along for the ride. Okay. Like you're going to make money, but hold on to your panties. Would you be like, I don't know, Linda, I don't know if I want to give you money for that. Or would you?
I would.
You would have?
Because whatever you deliver, I know is fire. So like whatever you want to call it, whatever, like whatever name you want to put on the program or whatever the specific outcome is, like I hired you because of you.
Okay, that's important, right? And so I know that your clients hire you because of you too. The biggest thing that I thought that I would have, that it would be maybe difficult for me to transfer to my clients was like, how do I take them from coach and consultant to movement leader? And so I love that you have shown up as her. Like I tell my clients, show up as her all the time. And then like they show up and I'm like, where is she? But ever since you said, oh, I know who my movement leader is. I know what my fame triggers are. I know what my fame identity is. You decided to step up and show up as her all the time. And so in layman's terms, you stepped into a leadership that I didn't see before. And she was always there because I didn't teach you how to do anything of what you do, right? You are the empress of voice medicine. You didn't come to me for that. Linda, teach me how to unleash my voice. Teach me how to, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think clicked for you? Something clicked for you in that identity. You went from coach or whatever into boom, movement leader. And this is who the movement leader is.
Honestly, the biggest thing that has shifted for me since being in the power table and working with you over the last like 4 or 5 months is there has been this activation inside of me, like, because you are so unapologetically you are so bold and powerful and embodied in all the parts of you. And getting to be around you and the other powerful women in the group, it has really activated the parts of me that were sleeping, that were afraid to disrupt, that were like still seeking validation, that were still seeking, to not ruffle feathers or like wanting people to like me. And it's just like being around all of these women and you has really like been this really powerful mirror of the parts of me that were still like in little girl, or the parts of me that were still like really afraid of my power, of just like being polarizing, of being like seen, like being extra, like this, and just like allowing that part to come online like layer by layer. And I think that has truly been what has allowed me to really like build that confidence over the last few months of like doubling my prices and calling in like empowered, amazing, aligned clients that don't need therapy and babysitting, like really, really powerful shifts.
Yeah, because like, okay, so I'm gonna, this is so cool because I know that I talk a certain way when like I'm making fun of how people talk or whatever. And and I'm like, I'm not making fun of the spiritual people. It's just that, you talk like this. And I always because it's not just you that's woo in my feet, in the power table. I have other ladies, right? And I always say, like, I fuck with the woo. I fuck with the woo hard, but I don't show up that way. And because I had a belief that the people that deal with their intuition and are heavily spiritual just have a lot of shit that they need to deal with, and I'm not here for it. But that is never, even when you came to me in February and you weren't making the kind of sales that you wanted, that's not who I saw. And I'm gonna be this mirror for you right now because I'm a mirror for my clients and they are a mirror for me. When you just said, oh, for me to show up this way, and how you're looking right now. And this was me. But she showed up in her damn lingerie. Like, what? Right? Because those are two different things. And I know people, for me, they think, well, Linda's so extroverted. How could she feel not confident about XYZ? Or how could she? Because it's not the same in our heads.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because in my mind, I'm like, why would she feel that way about being extra when she's like literally in her lingerie
getting tied up in shibari ropes
for social media to judge?
Different energies. Isn't that funny? That's so funny. Thank you for being the mirror, because it's so true. Like, there's a part of me that's very comfortable in the sexual lingerie, like dom sub energy, and I've crossed that threshold. I've worked through that. Like, that's no problem. this, like being with a crown and the sparkles and the playful and like my light and my joy, that has been my edge. And so truly like stepping into that has been super edgy for me. It's not now, but like, but that's my recent threshold that I've had to cross into.
My God, Savannah. And people would think the opposite with me. They'd be like, oh, Linda's super sexual. I'm like, no, do you see me? I'm tied up to my neck right now. Like, no, but I'll cuss your ass out without a problem, or I'm extra AF. I'll wear big old earrings or wear sequin, at 3 p.m. I love that. And before we turned the camera on, we were backstage. You were sharing with me, right? Something personal. And I started to share my experience with you of how I went through something like that. And you were like, oh my God. And I said, hey, let's talk about this online. Mm-hmm. Do you want to start the conversation? Do you want to like bring it up, or how would you, because I really want to touch on what we
spoke. I think it's, I'll start. So okay, cool. It's really this noticing of this pattern that I've seen in myself, and I've seen in so many of like my other friends that are coaches and showing up online. And like, it's a pattern that happens to a lot of people where, we are constantly in a death and a rebirth cycle. We're constantly evolving. We're constantly refining our offers and our businesses and how we show up and the identities that we're stepping into, like forever and ever until we die. And there's this pattern that I see so much where you can feel the old starting to shed. You can feel like, I'm not really aligned with this offer anymore. I don't want to work with these kind of clients anymore. Or like, this style of my clothing isn't resonating anymore, whatever it is. And then you're in the in-between space of the void of like, okay, this is not aligning, and I can totally feel something else is coming, but it's not crystallized. It's not clear yet. And so you're standing with one foot, you're straddling these two worlds, and you're in this kind of middle, like unknown space. And so many people will withdraw their energy, stop posting online. They'll totally go into like hermit mode. And so their sales drop and their energy drops and like momentum stops. And so like, this is so common. And I've done this so many times. But what I've noticed is the last few months, as I've taken this huge transition into shifting of my offers, of stepping more into music and artistry and creativity, away from like the deep, dark, feminine shadow work that I've been doing for a long time, is I'm still showing up. I'm still posting. I'm still seeding and talking about the parts that I do know of what are coming, right? I still birthed an offer and put it out, like, even though I'm not like fully there yet. And it's such a shift. Like, it's such a different way of showing up. And because of that, I haven't had this like crazy dip, even though I'm transitioning into a new chapter. Before, it would just be like this huge dip and then a huge climb back out. So now it's been more like a little down, kind of plateau, and then coming back up again.
Mm-hmm. And why I wanted you, thank you for sharing that, because that clearly, to me, it gave a very clear explanation of what so many of us, I'm going to say multi-passionate or like super creative people.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what I have found out before I talk, piggyback on what you said. One of the things I found out about me was like, I've always said that I wasn't creative. What? What?
That's a joke.
What? Exactly. Like, my dad was a sign painter. He did signs for like the big signs on top of hotels, signs on billboards. He was into commercial art. And so I did not know this. Like, I just grew up around all this art. Every house that we bought, my father painted a mural on the wall in the living room. It was paint like the entire wall.
Wow.
Like every house had a different vibe.
So
and
cool.
Yeah, right. And my mom was into beauty. She was a beauty salon owner, and my mom made her own clothes. Like, she didn't want no one to wear her dress, so she sewed her own clothes. Wow. And yeah, you see, and I'm like, I'm not creative. I grew up in a house with, I'm not into horoscope, but like 2 Libras. My dad was like a September late Libra, and my mom is like fully Libra like me. Like these people were like super stylish. I took Polaroid pictures of my parents before they went to church in their new outfits. Like they were so, I can't even believe I've said all my life that I'm not creative. So what I discovered this year was that, Linda, the reason your money has been stuck is because you want to coach like a coach, and you're not that. You're this creative person. So Sales Dominatrix took a life of its own, and then Alter was freaking a production. And then Movement came on the back of that. And I'm like, you get paid to evolve, to all my clients. And I'm evolving, and everyone's like, yeah. And here's where I'm going to piggyback on what you said. So you were telling me that last night you had a big release because you're evolving, and these capacities to hold more money are bringing up shit that you have to let go of. Is that a cool translation?
Yep.
And I was like, let me share this with you, because here's how I've experienced it. And here's what I want to share for the benefit of everyone else, because I think too many people in this industry pedestal their own damn self. Like they don't have problems and shit, right? Like I am in a mastermind where I clearly could sense the coach is also menopausal. And I know that most of the shift that has happened is hormonal for her. I know it. Right. But it's still affecting the delivery of the program and the whole nine. So like, girl, I see you. Right. So I'm always coaching from this place of like, look at me, because I don't want people to become mini Lindas. I don't want people to install my funnel or these templates. Like I don't do any of that. Right. I don't do any of that in the power table. But what I coach is on this identity evolution. And I was sharing with you that when you started telling me that you had a big release yesterday, I was like, you know what I found? I'm in this program and we're being asked some pre-work questions. And in the pre-work, we were asked like, what's our highest month and why do we think that was? And what's been our lowest month this year? And why do we think that was? And when I was reading everyone's answers, what I saw is that everybody loves to brag about their high months. Like, oh, here's exactly why I was having high months. Yeah. But when they talk about themselves in why they had low months, it's so dark and gloomy. It's like, oh, I had all these things to release and I can't hold my power and I gave birth, so I stepped back, and like giving birth is bad or something. Like you step back to take care of your baby. That's honorable. That's why we built this business. So you can't step back and take care. But it's like the lowest month, everyone had something to say that was like, oh, I have to release this because I need to hold more energy for my capacity to receive more. And I said, when I went to write my answer, I kind of felt like I'm not there anymore. When I had my lowest month this year, it was intentional because I was studying women in the industry whose businesses are not coaching businesses, but movements. Mm-hmm. I wanted to understand, to go from personal brand, which is what we've all been taught, because you and I met in a program in 2020 where, the psychographics and the demographics, right? So going from personal brand, where you are the brand, to giving your movement an identity. The movement is the brand, and it has an identity that your people become when they come to work with you. So I took that month off in May. I didn't take it off. I was still making posts. I never go away from social media, but I wasn't selling any like real offers, or I was just like, okay, power table, if you want it, here it is. I wasn't even sending emails, and it was very intentional. I had a low month because I like to, I was in this vortex of like picking up speed. And normally, like you said, I would have waited for all the speed to pick up and then slingshot. Yeah, here's my offer. Here's my new me. But when we evolve, so does our client base. We outgrow the people that brought us here, not because it's fucked up, but because we grow. So your ideal client from 2 years ago is not the person who's going to say yes to Sonic Priestess, unless she also evolved to that place.
No, she's a new person in my field.
See? So now you got to speak to her. And so inside of the power table, you place the this is the here's the post that I did, and then it called in this lady, and I was like, yes, you were speaking to her aspirational identity, because she wants to be a sonic priestess, and that's what she becomes with you. So with me, I was during May, I was like, are my people generational queens? They break generational cycles, they make a lot of money. What are they? Because I bought Generational Queen, the domain, like months ago. I bought Sales Dominatrix. Are they Sales Dominatrix? I was like, in May, I was just like trying to come up with what is it? And then the theme of power is in everything I've ever done since I came into this space. And I was like, my client becomes a woman of power, not a powerful woman, a woman of power. I was like, make that distinction. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, well, she's got to start somewhere. Do I want to start them at the 30K power table? Do I want to start them over here? It's something that would be entry level and what some would call affordable, but she learns how to think. She steps into her power. She learns to trust herself. She speaks up. Like, this is the biggest thing that women who pay me 30K are still lacking. So when they become a woman of power, they don't have to spend so many hours or weeks or days or months in that bottom part of their evolution. They're just like, they can trust themselves that I'm evolving, and I'm just saying I'm going with it. Even if I don't have it all figured out. That's been the biggest thing that I have been modeling for you ladies this year. Like, the name came through, do it. And as I'm delivering it, I'm like, oh, this is it.
Yep.
Oh, and I'm like, I already want to change the name to this, but it doesn't matter, right? Because the energy behind it brought the right people to the group. And I was like, just wanted to share with you, and very clearly for the people who are listening, you don't have to spend a whole bunch of time releasing things or crashing up against your upper limit all the time. Or stop saying that it's an upper limit. It's not like or that new levels are new devils. I don't believe in that. I believe that your new level will bring the same devil, because
just another layer.
Yeah. Well, doubt is like the thing at every level. Can I do this again? Will someone pay me? Even when someone, right? And I do all my interviews like a coaching session. So if you don't watch them, I don't know, I don't know. Doubt and the same devil. So like for me, the first time that I sold a $25,000 sale, I was like, will she be able to pay me these? Because she did a $1,000 payment to lock it in, and then she had payments of $4,000. And I was like, will she be able to pay this $4,000 every month? That was my thing. Like, and that has an energy and a power that is palpable. It's released, like literally you are releasing this energy, and you have this energy around that money, and you're literally creating a block for it. Literally. Which is why, Savannah, let me just say this, girl, because I'm just teaching.
Let it out.
Which is why the turbo funnel is so amazing, because people come to the call already energetically. They know that they're a yes. They just want you to be the bridge. They just want you to be there, because they need to go from this side of the Zoom call to this side of the Zoom call where they gave you their first payment to lock in their commitment at 20,000, at 30,000. They did not come to the call, and that's where they first heard that it was 30K. So because they're here, at that point, I always see people who are still meeting their upper limit on the call. So it's super difficult for the money to release. The bank says no. They call the bank. It said no again. They just raised my limit, but it still declined. And because that's they literally create a block for it. And I tell them, your coaching has just begun. You see how difficult it is for this money? Oh my God, I have goosebumps. You see how difficult it is for this money to leave your bank account? This is you. You're causing this. Because, Savannah, I pay money all the time. My shit never gets declined. The bank never says no. It just goes easily. It just leaves. And so, oh my God, that was like so powerful. I just want you and everyone who's watching, you don't need to sit there, because when you sit there, you create this energy that blocks. You create the block with your doubt. So then it creates real feelings. We're very emotional. We're women. Like on a daily, we have different hormones, like daily. Seriously. So like stop torturing yourself with that. Like have whatever it is that you have in place to release it, work out, have sex, I don't know, whatever it is. Talk to your coach. Don't sit with that, because when you sit with it, you create this block. And then we're like, clients are not doing, like, what's happening? And we don't really realize that we are doing that. Like people who do not believe in energy and frequency are like, I don't know what to tell you. That's why I trigger Christians all the time. Because Christians will be like, that's weird. No, you're weird. That's why you're broke. And a Christian. Bye. So Savannah, I was like writing this comment in the Facebook group, and I was like, I didn't have a slow month because I was in my shit and I had to release anything, or I was crashing against my upper limit. No, I knew that I felt my own evolution. And I was like, I have to go now, because if I'm stepping into a movement leaders lead. So I'm leading.
Yeah. And you were creating space for yourself to actually become that version of you, right? Like you didn't pull all the way back, but you created enough space, right? Because it is cyclical. We do move in seasons and cycles. Like it can't always be a linear. It's not linear. Consistent is bullshit.
No. And so it's interesting because we make our money primarily online. And here's what's, again, the mirror is so powerful. So many people are like, but Linda, when are you going to hold your first event? Like, you need to have an event. Like, you look at you online. And I'm like this, honey, the pandemic was the best thing that happened to me, because I don't like being out there. I don't network, or, like I don't have a huge network like in real life. I'm not out there. Right. So people are like, but how could you not? Look at you online. I'm like, girl, when I turn this thing off, I take this off too. Like I put my hair up in a clip and I'm in the kitchen. Right. And it's like, no, but you can do it. And I'm like, can I really? Again, this like, how would I not activate people live when I activate them through a camera? Like who thinks that? Us, because we're women. And I'm going to share this little example. I've shared it in another interview. I don't know if you ever watched it or at least know of the series called Queen of the South.
Mm-mm.
No?
It sounds familiar, but I haven't watched it.
So like my favorite, I'm going to say guilty pleasure is watching cartel shows, like shows about the drug cartel.
Uh-huh.
That's it.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Oh my God. So whenever I call Ubers, I call it Uber Black, because I'm not riding around in someone's beat up Toyota Corolla. Like, no. So every time the Uber Black comes and I'm with a client, I'm like, here goes our cartel van. And so like, it is like an inside joke from my
It's a thing.
It's a thing, the cartel van. So anyway, Queen of the South is a cartel leader. And they have the American show and the Spanish show. I actually like the American show better. But anyway, the last episode of the last season, Queen of the South is running as her younger self with like a plaid shirt. She's just running down the street. So it's like a flashback or something, right? And so she's running down the street and she runs into a building and she looks around and she runs up the stairs all the way to there. She gets to the rooftop and she's like at the rooftop, but now she's at the rooftop so she can't jump off. Oh my God. What? And then here comes the person who is following her, which you didn't see. You just knew she was running from somebody. So now the person who's following her comes out of the door. Wow, it's Queen of the South today. Man, that episode was so like fire. I'm like, oh, damn, she's running from herself. She can't run from herself. Ah! So all of that to describe exactly what you started talking about a little bit ago. It's just you being scared of the new you, but it's you. So trust her. We don't have to sit with releasing anything. What are you going to release? Release yourself. It's you, boo. Once you do that, tomorrow she's going to be like, hey, girl. Did you cry? Because I'm back.
Just been here hanging out.
I'm back. And so it's that level of trust that we have to have. And we and stop that identity shift that I love to see happening in my clients. Like, stop. Just stop. Don't do it. I don't like sometimes I'm like, I wish I had something else for you. Stop. So how do you feel now? Is there anything that you have to add to that? Like I gave the whole Queen of the South episode and the whole 9.
No, go forward with what you're about to say.
What do you feel or think is possible now? Because here's why I'm asking you that. Because I've always known, let me rewind, not always, at least since 2021, I have known that when I help my clients, it is a 6-figure. The thing that's stopping them from making money is not that I don't know how to make $10,000 sales. It's that it's a 6-figure problem that turns into a 7-figure problem. Because if you don't know how to make 20K or you don't know how to stand and, hold that power to be able to say that price because it is worth it, not because, oh, I dare to charge 30K. Go ahead and tell people what's included in your 30K offer.
So it's 9 months of one-on-one coaching. And we have 2 in-person experiences. So the first in-person experience, we're going into a professional recording studio. We're recording vocals, producing her track, and I'll be capturing behind the scenes footage of her in the studio, doing a professional branded photo shoot that weekend. And then once her single is produced, the next in-person experience, we're recording a professional music video. So then and then album cover art, we're helping create a launch strategy for releasing her first single, and then like the technical behind the scenes of like getting it distributed to like Spotify, Apple, Pandora, Amazon, like all that stuff. So it's basically like coaching and a like content creation / PR kind of, it's the whole fucking enchilada.
The whole enchilada. And me, this is so wild. I just had another memory pop up. Oh my God. I'll share it with you later when we're done. You're producing.
I'm producing.
You're a producer.
I'm a creative director.
You're a creative director. So now we have to find a name for your label. Like
it's Songbird Records.
Okay.
It's already a thing. All of my tracks are released under Songbird Records.
I love it. So it's not that I tell my clients, what do you do? Oh yeah, you could charge 20K for that. No. You've got to be an expert. Savannah is not out here charging to breathe with you.
Yeah. I'm
so serious.
This was the easiest money I've ever made. It was so rooted. It was so like, I didn't feel like I was like trying to posture and be like, so it's 30K. Right. Like I was just like, this is what it is. Like I could charge way fucking more for this.
You could.
I will.
And you will, right?
But for now, this is where I'm at.
This, like, you launched this. It's amazing and it's huge. And there's so many other things like doing the retreats for creatives and right? Just like following your gut, like truly trusting your gut. When
Mhm.
we try to do that particular coach's program that teaches us how to have six-figure launches, it actually stunts our creativity. That
Big time.
shit doesn't work for us. I mean, it's cool. There are things you're gonna learn that
Yeah.
you took forever,
Helpful bits and pieces for sure.
right? But it
Mhm.
does not work for us because we are larger than life. Our social media is a damn stage. I have a ring light, two standing flashlights. Like this is a studio. This is not
Mhm.
my office. And it's a studio for you too over there.
Yep.
Right? So this is the part that I would be like, why can't people get it? Oh, Linda, because your office is not an office, it's a studio. And your clients have a little clip-on ring light on top of their phone trying to do live streams. It's more than branding. It's who you are. And that's why I always say, I don't have a problem putting my clients on. I will share my stage. I will tag you on my stories. I will let the world know who you are. I will use your music on my stories. Why would I use someone else's music and let them get royalties, whatever? What the fuck? No. Like, like I think like that. It's not like Linda's running your music so hard that you're getting so much royalties, but like I honor the work that you've done. I honor women that I did that before I was this Linda in the online space.
Mhm.
I honor women. I want women to win. So how do I, like, it's not that I want to be like Linda. No, there's a creative inside of you and you want to let her out. So I think we covered it. Like, is there something that now that you're with me, that you're on the back side of my business with me, is there something that you were like, damn, or that you're still like, Linda should let more of this out in the front facing part of her business? And like, is there a part of me that you think belongs more on social media that people don't get to see?
Mm. Yeah, I think that you're really stepping into it now. Like this realization of how creative you are, and like you're also a producer. Like you are also a creative director. Like you are, you create these like themed experiences. Like you're definitely not just a coach teaching a fucking master class. Like it's like you're on a whole other planet. Like um and like the embodiment of the personas, the embodiment of the identities, like everything you do is so rich and layered, and like your creative direction, your the way you produce your experiences and your classes and your everything that you do is so unique.
And you think I should bring that more into like my social media presence? Like, the way I show up online, you think it's not translating yet?
I mean, you're embodying it so people are seeing it and they're experiencing you. And also, you help your clients do that. You help your clients be intentional with how they're launching. Like everything's a big deal. Everything, like, treat it like a movie trailer or a movie release. Like it doesn't matter if it's a $33 offer or a 30K offer. Like everything's a big deal. And like you help your clients do that. And that is really unique.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now we'll close with this. I know you had this sale, and you were like, it was so easy, or it was with ease, and oh my God, and you've mentioned it on this call. What are the things that you could say? Obviously, we've talked about it, but like, and I mentioned it as your leadership, but how different was showing up for that call, asking for that amount of money, than it was on another call where you may have been asking for 5K, and how different it felt? Because I don't think it was the
This
money
is
per se.
no, absolutely not. It had nothing to do with the money. I love that you're asking because this is huge. And it's like I feel like now that I can see it, I can't unsee it. Like I will never entertain a sale that is how it felt before. And what I'm taking away from this experience is I have done so much work on releasing the need to be validated, the need to be approved of, the need to be liked or chosen. Like this is my deep core wounding of abandonment of like, I need people to choose me. I need people to love me. Like if I just pour into them enough, then they'll stay. Like I have had to release that shit. And as I have released that shit, like layer by layer by layer, like I have done so much work around releasing that, I can now stand like from the minute I hit post on my post and I'm calling in this aspirational identity of this person and I'm standing rooted in my power of what I offer, that pulls in a certain type of person. And then I'm in Messenger with them, pre-qualifying them, and I'm completely unattached. I don't need them to say yes to me. I don't need their money. I don't need the sale. That's the fucking energy that is like so different than ever in my life. And because of that energy, because of that embodiment that I'm holding now, I'm able to show up from such a clean place. I'm able to be in my discernment. I'm able to like see like, is this person actually even a good fit that I want to pour into for the next 9 months or 6 months or whatever it is? Like, it's not, oh my God, someone's interested. I hope I can close the sale. Like, And so it's like, it's just being in my power and being like, I felt so leaned back through this whole process because I felt so much trust and so much just like, let's see where this goes. Like, let's see if this person is a good fit, you know? And like, okay, yeah, this feels really good. Like her answers feel aligned. Like she feels empowered. Like she's invested in herself before, blah, blah, blah. And then by the time we got on the call, like she told me multiple times, like, this is yes for me. I know I want to work with you. Great. Let's do this.
So now you have a real example of when a person is a hell yes before the call, how they communicate. They don't ghost. They're in it. They're committed. They're chasing you. They're like, oh my God. And they're giving you their
excited
right front and they're excited. And they're so like, oh my God, this is so activating.
Holy shit. Oh my God. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
So different.
So different.
I feel like this proud mama. I love that.
You should. You should.
So much. I got to meet your mom. We have to go out. Like,
oh my God.
Thank you, Savannah. It's my freaking pleasure to continue to have first of all, a front row seat to this evolution. And thank you for trusting me with it. And, here we go for the next 6 months of this year. Like, let's go.
So ready.
I know. Where can people find you if they want to find out about Sonic Priestess or any other offer that you have?
Facebook and Instagram are my main platforms. I do have a TikTok. I do have YouTube. But Instagram and Facebook are the most current and the most active. So just shoot me a message. The posts are pinned on both places if you want to check out Sonic Priestess or just connect. So
fantastic. I love you. Thank you so much for your time today.
Love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. See you on the next